Hello, I'm Jim Reed Anderson, Chairman, President, CEO, and Master Chef of Six Flags.
What's going on, guys? Six Flags finally announced their new rides for 2020, and I'll be doing analysis videos of all of the coasters that they announced except one. This video is going to be of Jersey Devil Coaster, and the other one is going to be for Aquaman Power Wave. I will not be doing an analysis video for Viper or whatever at La Ronde because that is a relocated coaster from Six Flags Magic Mountain. It is not technically a brand new coaster. So, let's get started with the Jersey Devil Coaster. This ride looks amazing, first of all. It's going to be 130 feet tall, going to have over 3,000 feet of track. They didn't technically give us an official track length, they just said over 3,000 feet. It'll have a drop angle of 87 degrees and will go 58 miles per hour. This ride is going to be an original RMC Raptor model, not a clone of Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster or Railblazer at California's Great America. Something that's different about this ride than the other two Raptor coasters, other than the layout, is that this is going to have 12 cars per train as opposed to just 8 on the other two. This means it's going to be extremely whippy in the back, even more so than the other two Raptors out there. Before I get into the full analysis of Jersey Devil, I want to point out that even though Six Flags Fiesta Texas is the testing grounds for new attractions in the chain, it seems like the first park to get one after Six Flags Fiesta Texas is Six Flags Great Adventure. I mean, they got the Joker a year after Six Flags Fiesta Texas got Batman the Ride, and now they're getting the next Raptor after Fiesta Texas does. It makes me wonder if they are going to do this more often. Now, let's get into the actual analysis. First off is the name. To me, Jersey Devil seems like a classic Six Flags name. Very generic, and not to mention, it follows with the theme of their El Diablo rides. Kind of a demonish name, or demonic theme, which, by the way, is also a super generic Six Flags theme in general. I'm not expecting a whole lot of theming in the station or in the queue line. If the front of the train really is going to look like a devil, though, that's going to be super cool. I am definitely excited to see what that's going to be like. However, that's all I'm expecting as far as theming goes. One of the things I'm worried about is that the park is going to end up changing the name later. They did this with the Joker. It was originally supposed to be called Total Mayhem, an original name, but they changed it to the Joker later. I hope they don't change the current name because it's original and I like it, but it's very possible that they could change the name, so just be prepared for that. The color scheme is pretty alright, I guess. It's not a bad color scheme for sure, but it also doesn't really stand out as a really amazing color scheme either. It's just like the rest of the theme of the ride. Pretty generic, at least for Six Flags. Now, before I really get into it, I do want to point out that the name of the ride is actually Jersey Devil Coaster, not just Jersey Devil. Now, why would they do that? Well, believe it or not, there is actually a professional ice hockey team called the New Jersey Devils, so they had to specify that this is a coaster and not the ice hockey team. Of course, the GP being the GP are going to confuse them anyway. Now for the good part, the layout. Once you leave the station, you're going to go up the lift hill to your max height of 130 feet. You drop at an 87-degree angle, reaching a max speed of 58 miles per hour at the bottom of the first drop. Once you come out of the drop, you go into the Raven inversion, not a dive loop. The difference is that a dive loop goes straight into the inversion part, whereas a Raven inversion has a pop of airtime, at least in the front row, before it finally flips you upside down. This is the same as what the other two Raptor models do. Once you come out of that, you go into a big ejector airtime hill, which is going to be followed by a classic RMC 0G stall. After that is when we're going to get to what will arguably be the best part of the ride, the turnaround. Now wait, hear me out. It's not really the turnaround itself that is going to be the best part. It's going to be fun and have some good laterals, don't get me wrong, but after it turns around, it's going to go down a drop. The other two Raptors have a similar thing, a turnaround and then a drop after the turnaround. The drop on Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, and I assume Railblazer too, has a super intense drop. The airtime on it is absolutely ridiculous in the back seat. And then Jersey Devil does the same thing. It turns around and drops down. This thing is going to have 12 cars, so I assume the back seat on this part will be even more ridiculous than its counterpart on Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster. Anyway, after that drop it goes into a 0G roll, then followed by the rise into the mid-course brake run. Now, a bunch of people are already hating on this ride because of that, saying that the mid-course brake run is going to trim it so much and ruin the ride. Well, I don't think so. I will admit, if they do trim it at the mid-course, it won't be quite as intense, but it will still be an amazing experience. Because what happens after the mid-course is a low-to-the-ground, intense turnaround. Again, this turnaround is reminiscent of the turnaround into the brakes on Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, and again, I assume Railblazer too. If it takes this turnaround as fast as the other two take theirs, then this is going to be an intense moment, regardless of whether the mid-course trims the train or not. After the turnaround, it goes into 2 back-to-back banked airtime hills, a short bunny hill, then it goes into the brake run. If Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster has taught me anything, this coaster is going to have an absolutely ridiculous pace. It will not slow down at all during the ride, even if the mid-course does kick in. It won't make the experience any worse than it could have been otherwise. Another thing is that this thing will probably go faster than the animation is looking like. To me, it looks like they made the animation based on how far off they were on Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, because if everyone remembers, they made the animation for that, and it ended up being way faster than it was supposed to be. But this thing is going to have 12 cars, which means that the animation is probably still off, even though they think they accounted for what happened with Wonder Woman. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I definitely think it's a possibility. The Raven inversion at the beginning in the front car is going to have some good airtime. The entire ride is going to have some good airtime, but this will be unexpectedly good airtime. The other elements look exactly like what they are. Classic RMC. Ejector airtime hills and a 0G stall and 0G roll. All of them are going to be amazing, because RMC is amazing at what they do. This will be no exception to that. Jersey Devil, in general, is just going to be an amazing ride with some insane airtime. Honestly, I think this might beat out El Toro for the best ride in the park for a lot of people. There are going to be others that will probably insist on keeping El Toro as the park's number 1, but it's going to be close between the two of them. Jersey Devil is going to be a good fit for Six Flags Great Adventure, and I look forward to riding it when I get the chance to go up there. This is going to give them an amazing top 3. With El Toro and King Dakar, and now this adding to the lineup, it really is going to be amazing. What do you think of this ride? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? You think it'll be the best new ride in the park, or will El Toro remain most people's number 1? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Amusement Park Guide to see more content. That wraps up my analysis of the Jersey Devil Coaster coming to Six Flags Great Adventure in 2020. Until next time, guys, we are all clear and out of here. We'll see y'all later.